This is Realty Talk with Ellie and Gaelan. Welcome to episode 46 of Realty Talk with
Ellie
and Gaelan. I don't think we did one last week. We were supposed to.
We did not.
Ellie was sick.
Dying,
dead. She came back to life.
I dead and then I came back.
And I tried to do a solo one, but just as life would have it, I wasn't able to do a solo podcast. So here I am with Ellie. Episode 46. We won't hit... we just shy of 52. We pretty darn close, though.
We didn't start until halfway through January.
Really? Oh, so
I didn't get my license until like the 15th or something like that, or the
So that makes
20th.
sense, because we'll probably be able to get to like 48, and then I think we skipped 2 during the year, and then probably, yeah, that's pretty good.
this past week was number 2, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and then we started 2 weeks in.
Yep.
But you're better now?
Yeah.
Healthy?
Yeah, well, I mean, recovering.
Ellie comes walking in and said, Ellie, you feeling better? She goes, yes. And then she proceeded to just cough on the couch, and now she sounds like
I
her voice is
coughed
lost.
into my arm.
But I meant like you were sitting on the couch and you were coughing.
I just open mouth coughed all over the
Meaning
office.
you weren't like, oh, I feel great, and then just like normal. You're like, I feel great. Oh, there you go. Perfect, on cue.
Okay, thank you.
So, Ellie, what's your topic now? Since you still have a voice, I'm going to let you go first.
What did I say?
Dealing with new stuff.
I said something better than that. How to handle entering new territory.
You did not say that
I
at all.
said that after.
Okay.
You weren't listening.
I heard deal with new stuff, and I was perplexed as to what that would be. Go ahead.
So I just figured I would discuss that because obviously, first I thought about discussing my first year in real estate because we're about a little more than a month away from my 1 year mark. I think I passed my test on the 9th of January, but I didn't get started really. Anyways, but I figured dealing with new territory was a good topic to cover because I've dealt with a lot of new territory this past year. Dealing with different loan types and different types of issues when a home is under contract and different types of issues that clients have personally and how to just navigate through all of that without making a big mess of things. And the biggest thing is to not fake it. Because I think that's advice you hear a lot, and it's like advice that I typically take towards things is like just fake it till you make it. But if you are dealing with something you don't know, especially in real estate, don't fake it till you make it. Find someone who knows and get an answer. Don't pretend you know an answer because you're gonna possibly lie to someone, whether it's intentional or not, by telling them incorrect information, which could make them angry or even get you into legal issues. And it just makes you look bad, and it's unnecessary. If you're new, just say, I don't know the answer to that. Even if you're not new, sometimes stuff comes up that you don't know about. Like I've had some insane things come up this past year, or even I've come to you and you're like, I have never come across that before. I don't know. And I had to ask the loan officer. So if you are navigating new territory and you come across something and you don't know how to handle it, like go to your mentor, go to your broker, go to an agent with more experience, talk to the lender, find someone who knows, and just tell your client, you know what, I'm not sure, I haven't dealt with this before. Let me find out from someone else and I'll get back to you. It's better than saying, making up something to sound like you know what you're talking about and then having to back out on that and be incorrect.
So is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Dealing with new... Okay.
Navigating new territory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I kind of started my career doing that. Was never fake it till you make it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like if you don't know the answer, be honest and say, I don't know the answer. And nobody's going to look at you... I mean, if a client's going to get mad at you because you don't know something on the spot and have to look it up, then
too bad.
That's on them. I mean, I would much rather if I had somebody have asked them a question, they said they didn't know, but they give me the answer and it's okay, great. Like if you know it, if you find out now or if you find out that night or the next day, it's usually not going to be a huge difference unless it's super time sensitive and you're trying to make an offer. And even if that's the case, you can call an agent up and the listing agent. What's funny is I've had some people that will say something to the effect of, are you going to know more about the house? And if it's my listing, I know a pretty good amount. The problem is if it's a new listing, I'm usually pretty fresh.
Yeah.
As the listing, say, goes 3-4 months down the road and they ask you a question, I'm like, man, I know they mentioned this to me about something, but the conversation was 3 months ago, and I might kind of know it, and I still will say, hey, listen, I think it's this, but let me verify, because I don't want to say yes, and then all of a sudden down the road they come back and say, well, you told me X, Y, or Z, and that wasn't the case. So for me, especially if we go into other people's houses, like other listings, like the information I have is pretty much the information on the sheet. And some people, if they think that you're going to know a bunch of information as soon as you go in the home, if I've been in the home before, then yes, I have a fairly good understanding. Or if I've already talked to the agent about another deal, I'm not going and researching the house before you go look at the property, because I go into a lot of homes. If I was to research every property, because what happens, majority of the homes that I go into, people don't make offers on.
Yeah,
like you're going to go into way more homes than you actually are going to make offers. So for me, if I'm going to go look up 6 or 7 or 8 different homes, and then we go see 6, 7, or 8, a lot of times you might walk in and just leave. That's a lot of wasted time on my end. So I basically walk in, I have basically the main sheet down, which gives me majority of the information I know. There's a few things that aren't on there that I think should be on there, but even if it's not on there, it's like, okay, I just jot a couple notes down, or I'll email myself and I'll ask questions after, like later on when I get back to the office, or at night, or whenever I can get to it, and you get the answers back to the client. So yeah, I think you're better off saying you don't know something than faking it.
And it's okay. Like you said, most of the time people will be understanding. I have, to date, I have not had any clients be like, whoa, what the heck? Why didn't you know this? And I'm sure it will come down the road, even if I'm 10 years into real estate, I'm sure I'll come across some person who just likes to be angry about stuff, who's going to be angry that I don't know the answer to something. And at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do about that. Just let it roll off your shoulders, and you're doing the best you can do.
I had a scenario, without going like too much detail, I had a scenario this past weekend, or past week, and basically the clients, it was one of those deals like we're trying to schedule something, and I was, I couldn't make it, and I was texting some people, I'm like, can't make it, and it would have been a house that easily could have been shown 2 days later type deal. But the people were like, we got to get in. We want to get in tonight. Blah, blah. And I'm like, there's literally no rush. Like, we're good. Like, we can go in 2 days. I can't get anybody else to go in. I can't go in. I have commitments. Other agents can't go in because they have commitments. And this is like, short notice, trying to get other people in. And I said, I will go on a Sunday. It's the only time I can do it. And then, of course, then I'm like, well, this was on Friday, I think. I'm like, well, I can go this afternoon if you guys, and they're like, no, we can't, work schedule. I'm like, it's the same with us. Like, we got to work around each other's schedules. So then they ended up sending me a text saying, we're going to go in a different direction or something, which basically just means they're working with a different agent, which, at the end of the day, I kind of look at that. I'm like, it's fine. Like, I was doing everything in my power to get them in as soon as possible.
You did your best.
And I did my best and all I could do. And then, but the thing was, it wasn't reciprocated on the other side. So I kind of look at that relationship as like, you know what? I'm good. Like, I don't. So for me, just like kind of cutting ties that's like a good feeling, because it's like, great. I don't have to worry about someone is kind of a pain in the, like, or when I say pain, nice, very nice people, but it's just the idea that, there's got to be some leeway in allowing us to do our job and coordinate stuff. I mean, like, you call your doctor up, they're probably not getting you in that day, they're getting you in 3 days later, and I'm very flexible in my stuff.
Yeah.
And I would have ran out, but I had commitment. I had family stuff. I'm like, I'm not going to skip family stuff to go do work stuff.
Yeah, that
I've already
top
committed.
Tier in the priority
list.
That
I've already committed to. Yeah. So, and like the other thing was like, I will get up earlier or go do something or change something up to accommodate you guys, but you got to also accommodate us too. I mean, you think about it, like we have very open schedules, meaning we don't have set hours ever, which is good and bad. And sometimes I find that sometimes clients they take that for granted a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I think that our schedules are way more flexible than probably anybody you're going to talk to. Yeah. Because if you need to go get your car looked at, if you need to, you get appointments scheduled sometimes a week or 2 weeks in advance, or the dentist or something like that, where you expect that we got to stop what we're doing and go in tonight. Like I try my hardest to do that, or coordinate with somebody else. But it's like, if we have commitments, it's not fair to those to skip that to go do your thing.
There's no other job like that where people don't say, and that's a good point. I've lost 2 clients over this past year. One of them was a cash buyer, was ready to buy that week, but he wanted to see it at a specific time on a specific day. And I work in an office from 8 to 4 every single day. And that's not something my boss is not going to be happy if I say, like, I'm going to go show a couple homes. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was not rude, but very like, no, I want to see it at this time. Retired person. They, in theory, could have been more flexible, but they just expected me to be able to do it at a certain time. So I just
yeah. And you're going to find real estate's also funny too, because it's a business that you can fire your clients. Like you don't have to do everything. Like when you're starting out, yes, you know, you have less leeway. And don't get me wrong. Like I'm not to the point yet where I'm telling like people, I'm not like picking and choosing who I get to work with. Like there's times I work with people that, you know, we just don't gel very well compared to a lot of people, but you make it work and you try your best to help them out and know the situation. But at the same time too, you got to have the respect factor in the opposite way. And people have to look at you as like, I got to respect their time or know that they're trying their best to get me in or accommodate. And the thing is, a lot of times we work off a short notice. Like it's not like my thing is I'm scheduling a week, typically a week out all the time. Like my week next week is pretty full. And obviously I try to leave some times in to fill in with showings, but every week, it's not like I just have a wide open calendar and I'm like, anytime you want to go see a place, like I have spots. And if I can't do them, then I'm reaching out to somebody in the office, say, hey, can you guys swing something if you can. But yeah, so sometimes, like I said, you're going to get used to, you know, clients like that. And you're like, all of a sudden you're like, man, that sucks or whatever. But then you got to look at it, it's like, no, just, it is what it is.
It's not personal. At the end of the day, it's not personal, and it's, you did what you can do. That's it. That's the end of the story.
Yeah. You want to end there?
Yeah.
That was quick.
Yeah.
That was good though. I don't even know what we really talked about. I don't even know what deal with new stuff. We'll just call that as a topic.
No, entering new territory.
Entering. I got to do this because Jordan always asks me this.
Territory.
Entering.
Or conquering new territories.
Entering new territory.
It sounds better than I didn't know what to
Territories or territory, plural or singular. Entering new territory.
Yeah.
That just sounds better.
It sounds better. Yeah.
Looks better too when I write it.
Yep.
Office quote.
I'm going to use this because it's been stuck in my head all day. But I commented it on your Instagram picture. Oh man, am I a woman?
What episode is that from?
A Diversity Day. It's like episode 2 of the first season. That's when they have all this stuff.
Did you get where my line was from?
Yeah.
When they did the it was the whistleblower. Was that the episode?
No. It was when Michael started. It was the rumors episode because Michael found out Stanley was cheating and told everyone, and then Jim was like, "That's not cool." So Michael made up a bunch of rumors, and Andy was worried that his was true, and his was that he was gay, and he wasn't sure if it was true or not.
I just love the line. Michael, am I gay? Like in the conference room.
I think he needs to know.
No, the one I was thinking of is... this was the last episode I watched, was when Ryan got rehired after his like fallout. Rehired guy, yeah. So he comes walking in and he's like, Jim, I want to apologize. He goes, I've been being better because, I'm really, doing a lot of stuff in the community right now, a lot of giving back. And then Jim's like, you mean your court order thing? He goes, Jim, it's all about getting out of the community and or whatever he said, something about getting out of the community and helping others. He goes, yeah, but the judge made you, right?
Yeah, but it was court ordered.
So that was a butchered quote, classic Gaelan.
As the same episode where he's making the list of people he's going to get back at, and Kevin's like, rehired guy, and then you just scream to Ryan, and he just writes down in his notebook and glares at the camera.
Kevin Malone. Actually, I just got to the part with Holly was hired. She goes, it's really nice that you let Kevin work here. He's like, yeah, he's an idiot.
Wait a minute.
He doesn't know how to do math. Yes, Kevin. Oh. You can drive? Yeah. All right. Oh. That's it. Episode 46, Realty Talk. Entering new territory. See you next week.